Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So, if you watched my last movie poster video, I mentioned that we had some Golden Age comics, and here they are. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope everybody is still warm and safe. I know there's supposed to be bad weather moving in when I filmed this just a couple days before Thanksgiving, so it didn't air right away, but hopefully everybody's warm and safe and dry. So, this is a batch of comics I picked up on a local online auction. So everything that you're going to see total up to $515 with tax, title, and license, which is buyer's premium basically. On it, I threw in a bunch of low ball bids, like $1 or $2 a book. And I ended up winning. I didn't think I was going to win anything, to be honest with you. I ended up winning a whole bunch of stuff doing that. And it was just literally 5 miles down the road, so I didn't have shipping, which is really good. I can't think of a weaker genre than Western stuff. So I don't know. We'll let you guys see what you think. And see, there's some spine rolls. Those can get out though, so it's not real severe. Now a lot of these have a number. That is not the issue number. It's the year. So it's actually the year of the comic was made. It's not on all of them, but it's not an awful lot of them. Why they did that, I do not know. I have no idea. Pretty clean book though, no sub crease, which is really surprising on some of these old Dells. A lot of kids had subscriptions, and so they had a sub crease. Very clean books, not all of them. There's some real rags in here too, but overall I was pretty happy with the condition on these things. And just to give you an idea, I don't have all these memorized. So this is number 74. A lot of these were in groups of 10. Lots of 10, so a lot would have 10 comics in it. And you know, I got them for an awful lot of those lots I got for $16, not including the buyer's premium. So less than $2 a book. And where are we now? 77. And they had a lot of stuff I didn't get. The Lone Ranger books, they had a 1 and 2, which is not the first appearance because he was in 4-color before that. They went really high. I think the number 1 Lone Ranger was at 1947. I think that went for almost $300 by the time it was done. The number 2 didn't bring that as much. I think it was, I don't know, I can't remember now. Maybe 100. I'm not sure. And you know, I actually, so fun fact, I'm old, I get it. So when I went to college at Northern Iowa, go Panthers, during the summer I'd set up at flea markets. I paid my way through college selling Western photo cover comic books. Roy, Gene, Hoppy, Lone Ranger, you know, who am I forgetting? John Wayne, stuff like that. Here's one with a really bunged corner. That looks pretty fresh. I wonder if that happened when it got moved, so that's too bad. I actually paid for my college tuition. Obviously it was a lot cheaper back then, but I mainly sold these. And even a book, so this is probably a little lower grade. I would say solid good, maybe a VG, wrinkling, light soiling, but clean. Just a little bit of writing up there, you can't hardly see it. And I'll tell you what, you know, this was like a $25 book back in the day. And then if you had a real nice one, you know, 50, 70, 80 bucks. Low grade John Waynes were, let's see, that's number 15. Yep, 15, 1949. Low grade John Waynes in that era, and I mean low grade stuff, $100 a book minimum. So I actually paid my way through school. That one's shot, you know, that came in a lot, and that one's kind of a garbage book. I don't know what I'll do with them. I really have to sit down. I looked through a few, and they're complete. I guess I haven't found anything that's missing anything. And again, that's probably a good, very good. Here you can see on the back a little better. Lots of rubbing on it, lots of wear. Same with this one. So there is some low grade stuff. You know, probably paid $1 a book for it or so. I'd have to look it up and see what that particular lot brought, but it wouldn't have been any more than that. There's only a few books I bid on more than a couple bucks a book. And I didn't get all those either, but you'll see them. They'll be coming up towards the end. Really nice shape. I gotta tell you, that's got to be close to a VF book. I rarely see them this clean. 1988. It's still not a high dollar book, but boy, I'm really hoping there's still a collector or two out there that really wants some high grade books, because there's some really, really sharp copies in here. Here's another one, just absolutely gorgeous. And these don't have the writing, at least that one didn't. But here's one that does. Too bad it's a Christmas cover, and this is a little lower grade, but it does make it hard to sell. The buyers vanish in a hurry if somebody's name is on it or there's much writing on it, and it's still there, so you don't notice it. But my gosh, the gloss on these, just a sharp looking set on some of these books. And I got them for the basically the same price, maybe 50 cents a piece higher than those junkers you saw. I just kind of bid the same across the board. And the junkers, of course, didn't bring as much as the nice ones, but the nice ones did not bring as much as they should have. Another great cover on that one. This is a little earlier one, I think. It says 51, so I assume 1951. Yeah, number 38. And it's still a presentable book. It's got some wear, patina, whatever you want to call it on there. You saw that one that had the corner torn. Most of these are not like that. Even the ones that have some wear on them. So whoever bought these, I think, was a real fan. I wish they wouldn't have written the year on there. I don't understand that, what they were doing there. Usually if they write on a number, it's usually the issue number, because you can't see the issue numbers from the outside. So I don't know why they picked the year. Anyway, though, somebody really liked their stuff at one time. And it certainly showed, because there's the junker to good stuff ratio is not that high. Usually, you know, for every one high-end copy, you get about 10 junkers. And I got to tell you, this was not that collection on that. So a lot of nicer books. And, you know, had I paid a little closer attention on those junk lots, I wouldn't have bid at all, because there were some I saw were pretty rough. A little bit of a tear down there. Little rough, and I didn't even bother to bid, so obviously I probably got bored and wasn't paying much attention. Boy, that was a nice copy. And I ended up with them, so that's on me. It didn't really obviously hurt me any, though. And the vast majority, you can see he must have been a huge Roy Rogers fan. And this is 113, 1957, just to kind of give you the skipped all over issue number wise. They did have, well, now I'm trying to remember, I might be wrong about that. I was thinking they did have a Roy one, the yellow covered one, but that might have been somewhere else now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't remember for sure. And here's something that you'll see they must have upgraded. The first one's probably a VG. This one's, it's got to be dang close. There's a little bit down there, so I'd say fine plus, fine, very fine on that one. So they must have done some upgrading at some point when they were collecting. Annie Oakley, again, not a real big seller. I don't know. I bid on them because they were cheap. These are another one that I think were like $1 a piece. Is all I paid for a lot of these. Okay, that wasn't the same issue. I got some dupes, but wasn't that. These were rough. The Annies were not as nice as some of the Roys. See, there's a chunk out of that one, chunk up there. You know, I'll probably end up putting them on eBay, putting them all together, like 4 or 5, maybe even more in a lot, and just kind of trying to move them all out. I should be able to get my money back, but that's probably about it for all the time you'd have into it. I'm not even taking that one out. That one's shredded pretty hard there. I know that cover can't be attached. So I would say they like the Western stuff, but Annie, they must have just kind of picked up, I'm thinking, where, you know, when they ran across them, at least they didn't seem to be quite as picky. There's another dupe, quite as picky condition-wise on the Annie stuff. Oh, my bag and board fell over. I'm going to open this before we get to the Bob Steele. I've got some more Roys here, and it'll go back and forth. That's just the way. It's the way the lots were, the bidding was, just kind of the whole whole shebang here. But these are some, here's another lot. What was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I had $15 or $16 into that lot. So what is that? I guess it'd be $4 or $5 a piece. But these were really, and this is a dupe, but this has a tear. So down here there's a little, so he must have upgraded. I don't know if the piece, oh, the piece is there. Thought that piece was maybe missing. I don't want to kind of get that piece out. I'll do it. Oh no, there it goes. All right, so there we got it. It's kind of banged up. Still a nice looking book. So even on the nice ones though, golly, how do you let those go? And I assume the economy is part of it. The Western genre is a big part of it. Here's some stuff I do not see. Very rarely have seen them, and this is probably one of the larger single batches. I'm not going to take them out. This is a nice book. A little chip down there. Bob Steele, kind of an oddball. This is a UK book. Maybe came through Canada. I don't know. You can see right there it says British edition. Cover is definitely detached. Really nice art. Well, photo cover on that one. So, you know, these actually might be a little more saleable than the Roys. This one's rough. That one's pretty tough there. But it is a title, and the Bob Steeles just do not show up. And usually when I get them, they're like onesies, twosies. And these are nicer. Yeah, I mean, there's some rough ones, but there's a couple of nicer ones in there too. I usually don't see them. I have a lot of paper quality issues. So my friend Chad from Lakefield, Coley Collectibles, he's a huge Gene Autry fan. Pretty sure he's got these. So Chad, if you need them, let me know. But this is a little rough. Probably only a good. It's got a chip out of it. You can see on the back, lots of wear. I guess, well, I don't know. Cover might be detached on the bottom. This is number what, 83. I'll take it out because these need to get rebagged and boarded and sleeved. At least they did, on some of these they did, but most of these did not have a bag and board. And that one's pretty rough too. Here's a pretty nice copy. I did not put this in Mylar. This is in Mylar when I got it. So it's got a good old-fashioned 4mm Mylar. Let's see, number 94. And I'll tell you what, that's probably the nicest copy I've ever had. I gotta make sure, well, let's just check. We'll see if the centerfold's still attached. Good paper quality, you know, off-white to cream. A little bit of tanning on the edges. Nice, tight centerfold. You usually had like a coupon in some of them back here, but it looks like everything's there. The interior art's usually really bad. That's a nice book. Boy, I'm telling you. So Chad, let me know if you want to upgrade it. I know you get a lot of them though, so you might have some in that condition. But that to me is a VF book. If that was a superhero book of any sort, I would grade it. That's how nice that is. These are not so nice here. These again are kind of rough. They all came, I think, in 2 lots. I think there's 2 lots, 55 there. And they kind of were mixed like that, you know. They had a couple of nice books, and then the rest of them, you know, not a lot. And this one's, I don't even know if that's complete, but that's just a junker. Detached centerfold, maybe missing pages. I don't know. I'm not going to look now. So there's some rough stuff. Here's another odd title. I don't see a lot of these, and there weren't a lot in the auction. I don't think I got all of them, but I did okay. And these are, gosh, this is nice. Just the little bit of a sun shadow, but the overall condition, never seen one in that high a grade before. Probably not going to make VF because of that sun shadow. You know, a bit of a personal preference on it. It could. I guess there is a tiny little chip out of that corner, so that would take care of that too. It'd be technically incomplete. I'm going to take this one out. That's a really rough Ken Maynard, number 7. Bill Boy, these kind of come in little batches too, number 15. Lots of spine stress, so maybe a VG. Really shocked I got these. you know, Clint Eastwood, he's still hanging in there. He's still around, at least at the time of filming this. Hopefully I didn't jinx anything there. It's a 4-color 1160, so it's a little earlier book, before the Gold Key. I don't know. I mean, it's got Clint Eastwood on there. This is a little later one. Stories could be a reprint. A lot of times the Gold Key, they put a new cover on them, but it was an older story. I don't know on this one. Again, not high grade, but no, I don't care. It's not something I see on a lot of these rawhide with the Clint Eastwood covers. Some chipping down there, so you know, VG, a little chip there, VG, maybe VG plus on it. Nice clean cover though. Maverick, it's another title. You know, again, I'm a little surprised. This one didn't surprise me too much. It's a Jack Kelly cover. They're not quite as popular as the Garner and the Roger Moore stuff, but still for like $2, maybe $3 on the top end, I got got a really high grade book there. So kind of nutty that way. Lone Ranger, I was surprised I got any. The bidding was really, really strong, especially in the red shirt Lone Ranger. And all the earlier books, you can always tell real quick if it's an earlier Lone Ranger, because he will have a red shirt on the earlier ones and then the blue shirt after that. And I assume there's a story there why they changed. I don't know. Anybody knows, let me know. Low grade, solid good. If it's complete, I didn't look. There were multiple copies of that particular Lone Ranger, thinking that's probably how I ended up, and that was definitely a low grade one. These surprised me though. Good cross collectible. So in other words, there's a lot of fans out there that aren't necessarily Western fans, but are Lone Ranger fans or whatever, and a lot of people consider him a superhero. So high grade book there, very, very clean. Of course, that's Clayton Moore. I don't know how long he played Lone Ranger, but he was doing supermarket openings yet when I was a kid, and that would have been in the 70s. So I mean, he was the Lone Ranger for a lot of us, my generation and older. But holy smokes, these were sold individually, and I think I had to pay $6 or $7 a piece for these. These I did bid up a little bit. Just because of that little ding there, but my gosh, $5-6 for a book that clean. Again, I'm not a Western guy, but boy, I don't know how you let those slide when they're that nice for that price. That's just really, really boggles my mind. And there was not a lot of bidding other than the early red shirt non-TV Lone Rangers. So that's 145, 1962. So I don't know. It was really interesting. It's really interesting I got anything. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the economy or exactly what it is, to be honest with you. But I was just very, very surprised that I was able to pick up so many of these books. And this isn't it. We're not quite coming to the end yet. So you're stuck with me a little bit longer. That's when I take them out of these Ziplocs, and I'll leave that one in, but you can just see how clean they are. Tex Ritter, this is John Ritter's dad, actually. Three's Company and, what was it, 8 Rules for Dating My Daughter, that guy. This is his dad, this is Tex. This one is in Mylar, it's a 2 mil. I'm guessing he picked it up from a comic dealer somewhere. Not VF, but fine for sure. So very, very, very clean book. And again, I see them, but not a ton of them, and not this clean. Now here's another dupe. So again, I'm guessing he upgraded. I don't know. Number 17 there, so I'm not sure. So well, here, let me do these first. So here's something that I threw in lowball bids, like $2 a piece. Roy on the Trail of the Zeros. Now this is a hardcover board book, no dust jacket on this, so it's a little newer. I was going to look, see if it had the year in here, 1954. I don't think they've ever been read. I mean, absolutely immaculate condition. The bottoms usually are caved in there, a little bit of a crease there. Corners are good, colors are brilliant. Again, I don't think they're worth hardly anything, but condition-wise, Boy, I've never had those books that nice. And speaking of books, so here's a couple of the older ones. They are dust jacketed. I see a few more of these. I think the collectors and the ones that had them as kids, you know, they're not here anymore. So they are starting to turn up, even with dust jackets a little bit. Still though, 1946, still pretty darn nice. You know, not perfect, but very clean, very presentable. Again, not worth a whole ton. This is the better the dust jacketed here. On that, you can see it's pretty clean. Not as many tears on this. Let me see. It's got to be 40s too, I would think. 45. That's probably the oldest one of the batch there. So really, holy smokes. So we're gonna go back. Here we go. I got some more. Just when you thought it was safe to be done, it is not. These are older Roys. These are rougher, which kind of goes with the territory when you get back there in some of the lower numbers. You know, still though, that had a sub crease on it. But still overall, here's another real nice one. I'll take this one out. Yeah, not VF, so it's got some moderate spine stress. Not a lot of rubbing. Very clear. No name. Number 13, 1949. So for an early book in particular, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, it does have a cover split. Oops. Darn it. I just saw that trying to put it in. I almost made that worse there. So again, probably just a good. Might sneak a VG, but probably just a good. This one has a long tear, split, something up there. So these are not great, even though they're older. Condition on them is kind of at least compared to those other ones. I can't tell you how many times, you know, going through the 90s and even early 2000s, boy, I wish I'd have tripped across a collection like this, you know, back when they were still valuable. Now, I don't know. Now it's going to be tough. So this is what's called obtrusive. So you can have arrival dates and names, and they have obtrusive and unobtrusive. So up here, when they're kind of hidden, they're hard to see. That's unobtrusive. When they put it smack dab in the middle, definitely on the obtrusive side. Number 24, 1949 on that one. That does hurt it. That really. There's just a lot of people will not buy it. Even back in the day when they were popular, would not buy a book that had that on there. That one is absolute garbage there. And this one's not garbage, but it is rough. It is rough. So then we're going to skip to some later Roys, which are kind of harder to get than some of the newer Roys. I know that sounds weird, but I think he was kind of coming to an end there. So they really backed off. There is a name. Again, unobtrusive. I can't even make it out. So that's good, actually. It won't get in the way too much. 120s, 140. So not the best. Definitely not as high grade as some of those, but still pretty clean book. And there's another one. He's not quite as probably. It's got a sub crease down the center, of course. So here we have another oddball title, another one I see very, very few of. That's Bob Colt. There were more Bob Colts. Just like the red shirt Lone Rangers, they went pretty well. They got good money out of those. This is number 3, 1951. Just an oddball title, and had some great covers on it. Here's number 9, and this is probably one of the nicer Bob Colts I've ever seen. It's not, you know, it's got that chip out, a little bit of fanfold creasing down there, but tight centerfold. Look at the paper quality on them. Oh, it's got some notes on here. Piece missing, top right hand corner of back cover. Oh yeah, I see it. So it's got a chunk out of there too. Those still, again, might do a little bit better than the Roys and even the Jeans, because they are a lot harder to find. Here's a Johnny Cash. I picked these up whenever. I think I paid $8. I think it was $8 or $9, and probably close to fine. We'll call it. Oh no, I don't know. Must have had a price tag So went down to VG in a hurry. But a lot of Johnny Cash fans around here. I kind of throw away the price guide on them. I usually put about 25 bucks a piece on those, and they usually sell. So just not a lot of fans, but not a lot of Johnny Cash, at least older Johnny Cash stuff in this area. So here, got, I think these are the last two books. Again, dust jacketed Outlaws of Sundown Valley. Really nice looking. That was evidently given to somebody in Garrett bought it October 3rd, 1952. Well, good job, Garrett. Proud of you, buddy. You saved up your allowance, I'm betting. And 1950. So again, just a really sharp copy. This one isn't quite as nice on the dust jacket, but I like the cover. The photo on there and the artwork, I guess it would be, not the photo, is really good. 1951. Oh, Garrett bought that one too. Well, Garrett, you are on a roll, buddy. I'm thinking it was what, about 49 cents in August 1951. Store tags right there wherever you got it. Saving your pennies. 1950 again is when that was published, so you got it a little later, which is not unusual. So let me see, let me grab it. Here it is. Last, definitely not least, so this was 180 of the $515, and they had very little superhero stuff on there. They had a couple of really beat up FFs down in the I think they're in the 90s, and they were rough, and nothing key that I could see on it. This is the second Green Goblin. There's a little bit of a crease right there, breaks the color in spots. Way nicer than the one I have. So I am going to keep this one. I did pay up for it. I don't know, I'll let you guys decide on that. I think it's probably a VG plus, so if you're going to send it off, I don't think it'd make fine because of the creases, but it is absolutely a gorgeous book. And I asked him, I said, you know, they had, I think, 1 or 2 more auctions coming up from that estate. I said, are there any more comics, especially that superhero Spider-Man? He's like, nope, that's all we had. So I'm like, okay. So I did pay up for that at 108. Well, it'd be trying to do the math in my head, so it'd be almost 194, I think, with the buyer's premium. So just figure I got 200 bucks into the book. It's a raw book. I'm not going to grade it. I don't grade stuff that's in my own collection. Very rarely that I do that. But that was the one. That's the one that I actually found the auction. It came up in the search, and I thought, because I mentioned comics, I thought, I better look the rest of these, and that was it. That was like the only Spider-Man. So like, okay. So I did pay up quite a bit for this one, not quite half, obviously. So what is that? 35-40% of the cost is right there in that book. I'm okay with that though. I'm very happy with that. So that's it, guys. I don't have any more videos in line right now unless I get some more stuff bought or something else happens. You know, like I get a collectioner coming in. I don't have anything else to film at the moment. Hopefully that'll change. But check out our other videos, and stay warm, stay dry, have some happy holidays. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and thanks for watching.